Now we are going to take an idea about the process of transpiration from its definition and an explanation. So the lesson that you are going to see will be dedicated to the understanding of transpiration as a process. So what is the definition? It is the loss of water in the form of vapors, in vapor form, from exposed surfaces of a plant. Now, being very well aware of the anatomical aspects of the plant that we studied earlier, you know that it is the leaf which is the main site where transpiration takes place, because it provides the maximum exposed surface and it has such an anatomy that the lower surface is provided with air spaces. So, we have the leaves, the cuticle and lenticels and little bit of bark of the tree that plays an important role in the loss of water from the plant. As much as 99% of absorbed water from the roots is given out in the form of water vapors back to the atmosphere. So this entire process of transpiration is nothing else but, like in the case of human beings, you have the process of sweating in the warm climates. So the warm days the person sweats out. Same way you can say that plant is also sweating out, but it is continuously losing its water, because as less as 0.2% of water that is being absorbed by the plant is taken up and used for the photosynthetic activities and maintaining the turgidity. Remaining of water has to go back to atmosphere. And that process of loss of water is transpiration. Now, how can we observe transpiration process? There is a simple activity. You again take a potted plant. You see, potted plants are going to be of great help in understanding these activities for you as well, and those who had pioneered in understanding these. There is a potted plant with green leafy structures, simply representing it like this. And it has been kept in a bell jar. This is to be well covered, properly covered. This part is also to be covered by some polythene, and this is to be kept inside a glass bell jar, which is kept in such a way that the entire arrangement or the apparatus is totally airtight, okay, and except for the leaves and the parts of the plant, nothing else is exposed in this particular arrangement. Now, what happens after some time is that you see droplets and a mist formation on this glass bell jar, which shows that these vapors, though it was airtight, these vapors are coming from the exposed part of the plant, and those exposed parts, stem being the minimum, it is the leaves which are providing the maximum exposed part. So there is the release of water vapors outside the leaves. Okay, this is to be kept in mind. This release of water vapors outside the leaves is the process of transpiration. Now, this transpiration is both a physical and physiological process. This you have to keep in mind. Physical and physiological process. Now, we get to understand what physiological aspects it is going to have when we study it in terms of anatomy of a leaf, how it is undertaking this process. When we talk about the physical aspect of the process of transpiration, it is nothing but evaporation. As in the case of evaporation, there is evaporative cooling that is taking place, and the water vapors are being exposed and released into the atmosphere from the exposed surfaces. In the same manner, the water vapors which are being formed inside the leaves due to the heat provided by the radiant sunlight, sun's energy, radiant energy, they get exposed and released into the atmosphere through the small pores present inside the leaf known as stomata. There is another activity to demonstrate transpiration, where we put a little amount of cobalt chloride paper on the leaves. Okay. Now this cobalt chloride paper, you must be knowing, when it is attached to the leaf, it is again an airtight container, and this cobalt chloride paper is blue in color in the beginning. But once it comes in contact with the moisture, it turns pink. So you observe that the cobalt chloride paper also turns pink, which shows that it is mostly the leaf surface which is giving the water vapors out, and because of the moisture that comes in contact with the paper, it is turning pink, which shows that from the stomata of the leaves, the vapors are coming out, and those vapors are coming out as a result of the activity of transpiration. So this transpiration activity, as you can see, whatever water is being absorbed, that is being given into the atmosphere, so it is called as necessary evil. You read about friction in your study of physics, and you say that friction is very, very important. It is providing loss as well as it is necessary. So transpiration is also that kind of necessary evil, which is responsible for getting rid of as much as 99% of the water that the plant takes up. But at the same time, this 99% loss somehow is responsible for taking up the water, and as we talked in the root pressure concept, that the root pressure is not enough, there is a negative pull that would be responsible. So do keep in mind that negative pull would be provided by transpiration. So with this we get an idea what transpiration is from its very simple definition, that it is a loss of water from exposed surfaces. By the end of the lesson, now you have another burden to carry forward for the next lesson, that this transpiration has a certain significance in the movement of water inside the plant. So we are going to see in the next lessons the various the various responsibilities that transpiration plays inside the physiological activities of the plants. So next we are going to dedicate another lesson to the benefits that transpiration provides to the plant.